Mrs. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the value. When to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive, thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, she's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter. If you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making, now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't. Thank you for tuning in to Mrs. Danielle DeVita. I am a relationship and femininity coach, and my goal is to help both men and women be in relationships that's best for them. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about intimacy, and I'm actually talking about bedroom intimacy. I'm trying not to say so many words, but I want to make sure that I stress this because a lot of times men say that this is important to them, and a lot of women think that it should not be as important. So many times women are saying, why is it so important? And it is true that women very much like emotional intimacy rather than the physical intimacy, the bedroom, right? But if you feel that you are not having a lot of bedroom action, I'm here to tell you, and again, I've been married for 13 years, so I'm telling you, it's still possible. You hear a lot of times people say, well, once or twice a week, it should be good, and all you need to do is procreate. So everything is not meant just for procreation. It is meant to share an intimate love that you have between one another. And what better way to do that than at minimum 4 times a week? And if you love to show that intimacy more, you can do that 5 to 7 times out of the week. And I truly believe the best way to do that is to make sure you set the mood straight. I often, and when I say set the mood, I don't necessarily just mean candles, but you can. So you spruce up the place, have some nice food that you cooked, better than going out, because even though going out can kind of lead to that, I believe that another way to show your love, especially when you're trying to get in that mood, is to show that you can cook a good meal for this man. Because they always say, right, the older generation say, a way to a man, right, heart is through his stomach. So cooking a nice meal is a great way to do that. I often say being fun and flirty and playful. I truly believe that having that communication where you're talking and you're saying, a lot of words that get you in the mood, whether that person is either at work or you're in person and you're just whether you're over the phone through text or in person. These are great things to do. I also think that it's wonderful to make sure that you are fresh. I have found out that when I take baths, of course, you take them in the morning. Most people take them in the morning, or if you take them at night, take it again right before he comes home. Or if he comes home before you, then you go shower and then set the mood. So I think that if you kind of take a shower, fix yourself up, do whatever you need to do, and put on that lingerie or just put on something that you like the way that you look and he likes the way you look and you smell good, then that makes him want to get close to you, smell you, feel how soft you are, put some oil on your body, right? Lotion. And those are really great mood setters. And if you do that every day, if you make sure so then you'll probably be taking a bath 3 times a day. If you're already taking it in the morning and the evening, then you would take it again right before he comes home. And doing that will really kind of set the energy up. Okay, you want me close to you. You want me to feel you and things like that. So I really like that. So again, a nice dinner, hopefully one that you prepare, having, your home set in the mood with the dark lighting, the candles, and have it nice and fresh and clean, and you be nice, fresh and clean, and you are putting on that lingerie. Those are some great mood setters. Having that, conversation with them, like, okay, get ready when you come home, and those things kind of have the anticipation throughout the day. Like, okay, come home tonight, I got something for you. And if you're one, like, sometimes if a lot was going on that evening, maybe you guys had places to go and you won't be able to do that, doing those things in the morning is great as well. So if you're a person where you maybe had to work overnight, maybe you're a nurse or something, and you come home early, having breakfast ready, setting that mood, getting that shower and get fixed up, that will be great for him before he takes off to go to work. So I really think that we think that we don't have the opportunity, have the time, but you don't have to have this long, drawn out 30-minute, lead up time. You can do quickies. You can have these quick moments, these bursts where people can remember, okay, we only had 10 minutes, we only had 15 minutes. Hey, maybe you only had 5 minutes. But those are some times where you can get those in and out quickly, and then maybe later on that day, if you have time, you can revisit it. So there's nothing wrong with more than one times in a day. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times people feel like it's taboo, not when you're married. I encourage people who are married to show that attention. It's amazing that when people are in a relationship and they're not married, they're more likely to do things, and then when they get married, they lapse on it. But these are things you want to do when you're married. This person is the person that you chose, that you say that you love and you want to be with. Why not put more time into that than when you guys weren't as committed to that level? And I'm speaking as a woman who is working, and I do have 3 young children. So this is something that you can incorporate into your time. If you need to, you can plan it. If you're a person who likes spontaneous things, then you don't have to plan it. Just make sure you continue to do these things that set that mood so it can be continual and often. But, intimacy should not be a chore. Every day you do this same thing every day. You go to work every day, if you have your business, you do this every day. You care for your kids every day, you clean your home every day, you do the X, Y, and Z. How can all those things be more important than time with your family, time with your husband, right? So I truly believe that the household is important, right? If you have time for those other things, you can have time for that. Yes, there are going to be times and seasons where things are going to be more crazy than normal. But of all of those things, even with your children and household, your husband is going to be more important. Your wife is more important. So make that time, because when you guys are holding together, that makes everything else a lot easier, right? It makes doing everything else a lot easier. But when you guys are at each other and not having that level of intimacy, both emotional and bedroom intimacy, if you don't have that, then it pulls apart. So you definitely want to keep that engaged, and the best way to keep that communication, the best way to keep that mental intimacy, that emotional intimacy, is to have that communion with each other, that fellowship with each other, and not necessarily that level of fellowship of actually in the bedroom doing the do, but just being next to each other, holding each other, kissing, right? All of those things can definitely lead to, doing the do, but you want to make sure you have those things often, because it creates this level, this bond that you drifting apart, not doing that, the bond is not as close. Now, if you have your own situation, y'all do what y'all do, right? Everyone is entitled to do whatever they want to do in their marriage, how often they want. But I'm saying coming together, having that communion, having that time together is a beautiful thing. And it's not just for procreating. It's not. Because if that's the case, then people can say, well, if we already have X amount of kids, we don't need to do it anymore. But it is a time of bonding, right? So hopefully that this helped you. If you guys thought, well, why is intimacy, physical intimacy, is so important to men, right? Why do we have to do this many times a week? And sometimes there are men that feel this way, but this is why you keep that bond close, right? So for more of my content, you can go to mrsdanielledevita.com. Keep in mind, I do have a book that's out. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on Kindle and Barnes & Noble, and you'll be able to see it pretty much virtually everywhere come August 14th. You should be able to see it on all locations, and it's Command Respect from the Woman You Want. It is a female's perspective on how to get the respect that you want. In a relationship, you should respect a man anyway, because if you can't, then why are you in a relationship with him? But this is a book that can guide men on a woman's perspective, right? So thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.